Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Aaron Chase. I'm a drummer here in Nashville, Tennessee. This week I did some recording, I toured with my band, and we opened for All American Rejects. And I'm definitely going to put that video out in a week or two, once it's edited. I'm really excited for this week's video because it's the first in a long series, hopefully, of recording drums. My producer friend Matt asked me to record on a song that he's working on for another client, but you should also check out Matt's band called GIBSON FLOWERs. As always, thank you for watching. We just passed 100 subscribers on this channel, so if you aren't already a subscriber, please subscribe, comment, like. I really appreciate your support on this channel. All right, let's get into this week's video. All right, let's get into it. So what I'm doing here is downloading the song and letting it play in the background while I set up, because I have a lot of cleaning to do and a lot of setup to fix. In addition to recording, I do a lot of playing in town, I go on tours, I teach, I'm always on the move, so my drum room gets messy really quick. But thankfully I have this Tama Star Classic maple that I leave set up pretty much all the time, so when I do get a recording gig, I'm ready to go. The kit sizes are 13, 16, and a 22-inch kick, and then I'm using my Pearl brass Sensitone snare drum. And the next step is to make sure each of my mics is sending signal into my computer, because I've made the mistake before of getting all the way to doing a take of the song and I realize, oh my gosh, my kick mic isn't plugged in. One of the most underrated steps, I think, in recording is file management. So I have a separate folder for every client that I record for and a subfolder for each song that I play for them. One lesson that I learned while making this video was my organization for storage isn't that great. I realized my computer was running low on storage already, and so I had to waste time in the day going back, deleting old files, old projects to make room. So a producer buddy of mine is having me play on this track, and this is my first time seeing this, but you can import a lot of data when you drop in the track from your downloads when they send you the song. Normally it comes in with the tempo, the time signature, but this is the first time where the arrangement came in. Super helpful. One of the first things I'm going to do is actually lay down percussion on the song. So I've got all my mics set up here, engaged and recording, but what I'm going to do is just duplicate Command D and duplicate my overhead left a couple times and make this shaker, tambourine, claps. I don't know. It might be on there at some point. And lately what I do for shaker loops or percussion loops is I go in, I find a good 4-bar segment I played, and just to be extra clear and crisp, I do flex time on it, and what that does is it puts time markers on all of the transients, and then you select that region, you go up to region, and then select quantize 8th note, and just to kind of make the producer happy, just to get it as clean as I can to start and lined up. with the metronome. There's also a feature you can do where once you make a great 4-bar loop, you can hit loop and it will copy and paste, to the end of the session, which is super dope. But sometimes I found like it doesn't do it well where it needs to crossfade. As I'm learning the arrangement of the song, what I'll do is I'll put the shaker where I want it to go in the song and then just put crossfades in for it to play smoothly through the parts. So now that I've got the shaker placed throughout the whole track, I'm gonna go in and do the same thing with the individual tambourine hits. Later on in the song, I might do like the 16th note, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, like kind of the same pattern with the tambourine. But right now, I at least know I want singular tambourine hits kind of verbed out with some space. All right, got tambourine programmed in there. And here's what it sounds like with the shaker. And who knows, might take the stuff out by the end of it, might edit it, might replace it. We'll find out. The hardest part, but the most important part, is getting your drum sounds and then finding your parts. What patterns am I going to play? What beat? When am I going to stop? That type of stuff. So I like to focus on first tuning the snare and trying to find a good sound for the song. So right now I know my snare is tuned to the last gig I was just playing out with Lost Stars. I don't think that's right for the song, and that's okay. So first thing I like to do is detune the drum. That actually might be closer to what we're going for. Probably doesn't sound good yet, but could work. And I think it's an important question to ask, okay, what is the right snare sound for the song? Well, for this song, it's very laid back, 6/8, kind of like waltzy almost. And so I don't think a high-pitched snare is what the producer is hearing in his ears. Sometimes it helps to eliminate what wouldn't sound right. A big like metal rock drum sound, like stadium snare drum sound, that would feel kind of inappropriate with the genre. A high-pitched like hip-hop snare wouldn't quite work. So I want to go for something that's lower tuned. It's got a bit of sustain and tone, and like the wires are going to be a little rattly. So I don't think that's right either. I think we're getting closer. I think that might be too low, but I'm going to tune it up a little bit. Oh yeah, and the head was completely loose. So there was no tension on it. Wasn't even finger tight. So that's pretty much just finger tight. I don't know. I might do a few takes with this type of sound while I'm getting the other drums to sound right. And, after I listen to a first take that I do, I might go back and be like, that snare wasn't right. I try to get a good sound in the room and then record it and see how it sounds through the mics, Can I do like just a little bit of like compression EQ to get it closer to sounding where I want it in the song, or do I need to start from scratch and retune the snare? The first take is also helpful because it helps me get levels. You can see here, if these two tracks are my overheads, they should be about the same volume, but the left was way louder than the right. We can just tell by the height of the wave file. So over on my interface, I turned down this one. I matched them. Just kind of slipped up on that. That's okay. The rack tom looks a little loud. I don't think it's distorting or clipping. The room mic was a little quiet. See how there's like barely any signal showing up? So I gained that up on my ADAT interface, just more channels attached to my interface. Brought that up. I think it was at all the way down on the left. This experimental mic that I'm trying out, mono overhead mic. In between my mics there, that little guy. He wasn't getting a ton of signal, so I'm gonna turn him up as well. We'll just try noon. And yeah, still trying to dial in sounds, tunings, volume levels, and it might take, a take or two to so many of the same words. It may take a few tries to get good sounds, good parts, and right volume structures. I just went through each individual microphone and cleaned it up a little bit. I'll do another video specifically about, I think, getting drum sounds, but just kind of wanted to show the overall process on this one. Wherever the toms aren't playing, they usually get this really gross sound where it's just a drum ringing out without being hit. So it's like gross overtones. So what I did was chopped it up to right before where I hit the drum itself. And now what I'm going to do is go through and just put fades at the end and get them a little bit more clean. So this is the first take. This is what I'm going to send to the producer. It's probably not going to be the final take. We'll see what thoughts he has on it. And my guess is that he'll probably say like, well, maybe if we did the fills a little bit different, or what if we did, you know, started building up earlier on another section. You never know. I'm going to export it and send it to the producer. One check that I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce it to my phone, or send it to my phone, listen to it on my phone, because I feel like odds are first thing he's going to do is, you know, download it onto his phone. That actually worked out pretty good. So what happened was I sent him the first take. He quickly sent back revision requests, and all it was really was a fill going into a section. Just one little quick chill change, and you love to see it. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next week for a brand new vlog.